Hi, this is Karina, a Discovery Writer. It's been a while since I've done a video blog, so I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of excuses why, blah, blah, blah. That's unnecessary. I wanted to talk real quick about book covers. I've read a lot of books recently that have had fantastic book covers that have really been subpar with either story or writing or both. Um, and I've also read books where the book is fantastic, but the covers were not much to look at. So we've all heard the phrase, never judge a book by its cover. Um, and I think everyone knows this generally. But I think, the old adage of, yeah, never judge a book by its cover, we tend to think of it as more of um, it might have a bad cover, um, but the story inside is what really matters. And so I think that we sometimes forget that there can be really, really good book covers that are not so good. And I've read a lot of these recently. Um, so, I mean, that's basically it. Just keep it in mind that, no, that's not it. Um, because, I mean, keep it in mind as a reader. As a reader, we should never judge a book by its cover, whether it's a good cover or bad cover. You need to be willing to read books, and judge it for the content, not the cover, and even um, the back of the book descriptions. Um, I wouldn't even judge books off of that because sometimes I've read those and they've been really good and interesting, and then the writing is just terrible. Concepts do not make good books. Somebody can have a really good concept, but it's not a good book. So never judge a book by the cover or the description, which is on the back cover, or on the inside flap, which is technically still part of the cover. So, um, but then also, it's hard because as writers, there's really no control um, over whether or not you can pick your own cover. If you are picked up by a smaller publishing house, sometimes you can have a say in the book cover that you have. Very rare do you have complete control over that. The only time you ever are going to have complete control of that is when you self-publish. Even then, you have to hire an artist and you have to get them to render it just the way you want it. And so it's hard to get your book just right. So as a writer, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. But as readers, we need to be very open-minded and willing to read books that um, may not look fantastic, but we have to judge it more if it's off of the actual black and white print. Um, I also wanted to say that if you're going to, if you want to sample a book, or if you want to try and get a feel for how good the book is going to be, somebody once said that I guess it's kind of a big thing right now, going to page 64 in a book. So if you're at a library or a bookstore and you're considering getting a book, turn to page 64 and read it and see if you're gripped. Um, and then others have said, I've heard others say, don't read the back of the book at all. Go and read the first chapter, because then you are reading the hook, but you're also reading what is getting you in. I don't know if I always agree with that, because I think first chapters have to be gripping, and they're the first thing that editors see and agents see and your readers see. And if you can get them in that first chapter, then you got them. So I think that can be a little bit of a cheap trick sometimes, and the rest of the writing can suffer um, sometimes. So I would say, maybe sample the writing in chapter one, maybe try and go a little further and see if the writing uh, decreases. Um, but anyway, so if you're kind of trying to figure out how to judge a book by what it really is, those are some of the things that maybe I would suggest to do. Because book covers can be deceiving one way or another. And there are great books out there that have great covers, and there are terrible books that have terrible covers. However, that's I guess that really just adds to the point. You really cannot judge everything is going to be different, and you have to be able to find other ways to judge books. And really, the only way to really fully judge a book is to read the whole thing through. But there are some books that it's not worth your time. There have been plenty of books that I started and I finished because I felt like I needed to, not because I wanted to. And then there's times where I've put it down because it's not worth my time. Anyway, okay, I've already gone a little longer than I want, so that's it. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I will get another one out here soon. Thanks, bye.